Yo, hi there. These comments are for Ruby, and I am Michael Buckoff, the founder, owner, and the materials writer for all of your lessons at the 7-step system to pass a TOEFL IBT. And let's take a look at the email that you sent. You say, "Hi Michael, I took the TOEFL exam on November 12, 2017, then I received a total score of 89 out of 120, so you have 25 points on reading, 22 points on listening, 19 points on speaking, and then 23 points on writing. I want to say thank you very much for, I'm going to put here 4, not 2, for your teaching and help on my English progress," and you're welcome, by the way. See, after the past 11 months attending your online course and many practices with you, I found my English level has increased in a measurable way. I like it, and will continue it. I am very happy that my score already reached the requirement of some German research schools. However, I am still not satisfied because I give myself a goal that is to make 100 at least. There are some parts that I still have spaces to improve on the TOEFL. Alright, so for speaking, you need to improve, it looks like, speaking about familiar topics, which is limited, speaking about campus topics, which is fair, and speaking about academic course content, which is fair. So basically you still need to improve your independent and your integrated speaking skills. Number 4, your independent writing is good, right? I'm assuming. So then your writing based on reading and listening is fair, so you need to improve your integrated writing. You say, "Let me talk about my exam experience on today's voice recording. Then give me your suggestions for a study plan to reach my goal next year." You're pretty close. I think within the next probably 1 to 2 months, I mean from 89 to 100, it is possible to make about 5 to 10 points of improvement for each month that you study. Alright, so I will make some comments. Let's listen to your recording right now so we can learn a little bit about your test experience on November 12th, 2017, right? Okay, here we go.
Making a priority is the first thing I will do. Then I will make sure how many times I have to do it. There are 2.
I would say not how many times, how much time I have to do it. So that's a language use. So you want to say how much time I have to accomplish something in terms of your study guide.
Research methods, strategies. Using more time to finish it or do it fast are 2 strategies to manage a heavy workload. In general, if I'm more experienced to certain types of assignments, I could finish it.
Okay, so right now you're answering, it looks like, the question. So what are your strategies when you're busy with a lot of homework, right? So the first thing you can do here is restate the question a little bit better. So you might say, well, if I'm busy with a lot of homework, I have 2 important strategies in order for me to get that done. Maybe say something like that. So some restating or rephrasing of the question, it helps give your speaking a little bit clearer purpose.
Making a priority is the first thing I will do. Then I will make sure how many times I have.
See, as you start your response there, it isn't clear what you're saying or why you're saying it. It's not clear how it focuses around that speaking task.
There are 2 research methods, strategies. Using more time to finish it or do it fast are 2 strategies to manage a heavy workload. In general, if I'm more experienced to certain types of assignments, I could finish it very fast. On the other hand, if I'm not familiar with the assignment, it could work overtime. Therefore, the 2.
So you're having some language use issues. So with this response, it's a matter of developing better control over your vocabulary and your grammar.
Strategies work well for me. Only depends on my familiarity with the homework.
Say familiarity with the homework.
So this is my today's practice. First, Michael.
Okay, so on this one, if we look at the rubrics, which I'm going to look at right now, so let's take a look. So language use, you're having some problems in terms of explaining the ideas. I think you could have done a little bit better job with that. So topic development, at times it wasn't clear how what you were saying was connected to the purpose of the speaking task, so you need a better organization there. Delivery, not bad. I mean, you were pronouncing the words clearly for the most part. I mean, you have an accent, of course. So this one, I'm going to put you at about maybe 2.6 out of 4, 20 points out of 30 on this particular practice test. All right? Okay, let's take a look at your test experience now.
I want to say thank you for your help on my TOEFL preparation.
You're welcome.
And I would like to talk about what difficulty I have made on my exam days. First,
I would say what difficulties I encountered, not made. I would say I want to talk about the difficulties I encountered during the TOEFL exam. That's probably a better way to say that.
my reading part, I was scored high, and I think that is because during the past months, I used time and energies to increase my vocabulary, and I took your vocabulary courses.
Good.
It really helped. And of course, it's difficult, as you mentioned before, because I need to memorize a lot of words, but it's also interesting. Then my listening.
Now you can also work on improving your reading speed. If you can get your reading speed to around 300 words per minute, that usually also helps many students on the reading section of the TOEFL exam.
Part was score high, but when I faced the speaking task, especially for the speaking about the familiar topic, my level was limited. This is interesting because when I faced the real task, I was a little bit nervous because their task was much simpler than our practice. I still remember the task is about if your roommate get up late frequently and missed out many courses when the final exam is coming, do you help him or you just prepare on your own? And I feel a little bit tricky because a little bit like moral issues, and then I have some hesitation. So this is my problem.
Okay.
Not.
Okay, so the question was pretty basic, right? That's what you're saying. But you felt they were asking you about a moral type dilemma, which made it a little bit more complicated to answer. Am I right?
Do very well on the topic.
Okay.
And for another part is about speaking about campus situation and also speaking about academic course content.
Okay.
My level were fair, but they are fit.
I would say my level was fair, not were fair, unless you say my levels were fair or my level was fair.
Feedback to me was some ideas are not fully developed and are not accurate.
Okay, that means that you need to work a little bit more on making sure when you're doing practice to listening passages and reading passages, you want to make sure, Ruby, that your notes are complete and they're accurate. That's something you can work on beginning today. So just work on having more complete and more accurate notes.
Next is about my writing task. For the writing based on reading and listening,
Okay.
my score was fair.
This is why you're not over 25 points on the the writing. So there's a pattern. You're having problems, it sounds like, getting notes or taking notes on the main and the most important support points of reading and listening passages.
And actually, I didn't finish this part. I didn't pay attention on the time management, so I couldn't finish the final paragraph. So maybe this is my problem, but the final part for the writing based on knowledge and experience, my score is good. So overall, this is my...
Okay, so let's address the integrated speaking. So you ran out of time. Yeah, if you didn't get that final paragraph written, that probably means some time management issues. So what you can do with me is I have about 40 integrated writing practice tests. Maybe you can start off answering those questions in about 45 minutes. And then maybe after a week you want to cut that time down to 40 minutes. And then down to 35 minutes eventually, then down to 30, then down to 25, and finally down to 20. So what I'm saying, Ruby, is you want to work on being able to answer that question faster than what you did during the TOEFL exam, because if you missed a whole paragraph, that probably means you weren't able to talk about the third point in the reading passage, and you weren't able to show how that related to the third point in the listening passage. Am I right? So because you missed that, that's going to drop your score down considerably.
Real TOEFL exam results. Hopefully you will give me some suggestion for my next plan to reach my goal next year. Thank you.
Yeah, so it looks like your reading and listening, you're in pretty good shape, but overall you can still work on your listening or your note-taking abilities. I think that's something you can work on in my course. If I were you, I would put a heavy focus on speaking and writing. I think that's what you need to do. Now, if you want to become one of my TOEFL speaking and writing bootcamp students, or at least my writing bootcamp student, I do offer some error correction videos. It does cost. If you do my error correction or my TOEFL writing bootcamp, I can give you a discount of about $99. And then from that, I will error correct 2 of your writing practice tests. And in your case, because you're doing a pretty good job on the independent writing task, you should probably have me error correct 2 of your integrated writing practice tests. That might be a good idea for you, and I can tell you what you're doing wrong with that. So think about that. That might be a good thing. So primarily you're focusing more in the speaking and the writing areas of my course. You're also focusing a lot on improving your note-taking as you're reading passages and listening to lectures, and then you maybe have me error correct 2 of your integrated writing practice tests, and then I will give you some feedback there, and hopefully that will be enough to help move you past your goal. The speaking is going to be a little bit more difficult because some of the problems you're having are language use issues. That means you're not always choosing the correct word or the correct grammar. You're having some pronunciation issues, so that's going to make it somewhat difficult. It'll be a little bit harder. I think the writing we can correct fairly quickly. The speaking will probably take a little more time. But just keep doing what you're doing. Keep submitting speaking and writing practice tests as much as you can, and you will continue to improve. All right?